is they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, we get 4 games in the NBA. We get Thursday night football, and then we get 9 games in the NHL today. I believe it was. We get a decent slate, not one game like we have the last 2 of 3 days. Yeah, 9 games in the NHL. So we have plenty to go over. But we'll quickly recap yesterday. One went right, one went wrong. It was a poor day for me. After a nice Frozen Frenzy night, NBA reminds me how much I hate it. That Detroit team total over looks so good. And then they score 19 in the fourth quarter and come up 6 points short. Like, come on. That was by far their lowest scoring quarter. I just needed 25 points in the 25 points? 25 points in the fourth quarter. You give me 19. Loser on the team total over there. And then, of course, the one game that did have offense was the one I had double up on unders on. First half and full game unders in Miami, losers. So a shit day in the NBA. Treading lightly to start the year because it was an 8-game slate yesterday. I had 3 plays. So, and in college football, I picked the wrong underdog. Middle Tennessee loses by 22. I had them plus 21. So of course I lose that one by 1. And Kennesaw State wins outright. Stayed off of that dog. Even though I was staring at it for a while because at the very least, Liberty was not going to cover that game. Because they're 5-0 straight up and they're 1-4 ATS this year. Now they're 1-5 ATS. Liberty has been terrible against the number this year.
So is Kennesaw State. But there was almost 4 touchdowns we were talking about there. So my only winner of the day, though, was the Washington Capitals -1 at plus 109. So NHL is continuing to be good to me after a poor start. Hopefully the NBA can do the same after a poor start. Because I think I'm 0-4 to start the NBA season. I was like 0-7, I think, in the NHL to start the year or whatever. It was a bad start in the NHL as well. So the first couple of days of sports, I really got to take them easy because I always struggle. And I noticed the only sport that I start off well in is college basketball. Like that's one thing I noticed is that that's the sport because it takes time for the markets to adjust to college basketball with all the teams out there. So there's edges to be had, and I've already started setting up the spreadsheet for November 4th. I'm excited. I'll get that done soon.
There's so many games to look over, and that's after taking out the Division School two games. But yeah, there's that. But not a good day yesterday. 1-4, down 3.14 units or 3.41 units. Stupid NBA. But got a full card in NHL. I've already moved on 3 different spots I like. I already moved on the Thursday night game as well. So we'll see how this goes.
I'd like to thank the Orlando Magic. They were my only win yesterday. I wish I stuck to the 3 plays I had. I would have went 1-2 instead of 1-5 because I added plays late. I will say Kennesaw State game, I had the under. And I said that Kennesaw State wouldn't score more than 10. So I was wrong on that one. The over in the Pacer game was never – well, it looked decent, and then the fourth quarter completely shit the bed, along with the Pistons money line. They lost by 6 anyway, so it's not like they would have covered the spread. So rough there. Orlando Magic were a winner. Sixers got blown out. You know what? If I have to pay to watch the Sixers get blown out, fine. Memphis Grizzlies lose by the hook. That wasn't fun. And Portland gets blown out by
Golden State. So, not a great day, and I'm hoping today is a lot better. I only bet 2 out of the 4 NBA games. So,
there you go.
That's the later 2 ones. So,
yeah, I haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet, but I do have a couple spots I'm kind of leaning towards.
Let's go. Cade Cunningham over points and rebounds. Nice. Pistons, yeah. Caps first half spread. Caps full game spread. Orlando Magic. The Sixers, Warriors under. Clippers 5-3 in the NBA. There you go. We are live. Yes, we are. Middle Tennessee over 20.5 total. Hey, fellas. What's up, Robert? Nice NHL card today. It is 7-3 day in the NHL. All hail Ovechkin.
Yeah, Caps got the job done for me last night, so that was nice.
Let's hit some winner. Let's do it. Skull. You know what? Today's another test. I'm on the Vikings today. If they don't win and cover against a 2-4 beat up Rams team, they're not a good team. There you go. I got the Capitals game over 6.5 at plus 140.
Wow.
I thought the price was wrong. There you go. College basketball will be fun. Yes, I'm excited for college basketball. Hockey is the best sport to bet because outcomes are rarely different when 2 teams play each other in a row, unlike baseball. Well, baseball, you got the extra component of pitchers. So
yes.
Lots of folks on Rams. I have zero idea why.
I will explain to you why when we break down the game. Because I am on the Los Angeles Rams at +3. We will talk about that in a little bit.
Hockey and golf are the best sports to bet on and play in real life. I'm going to disagree with golf.
I would say I love hockey and baseball. Give me the money line sports all day long.
Baseball game to game is not similar at all. I once saw the Angels win 22-3 and lose 7-0. Yeah, there's pitching components. So, yes. No. The line says everything. It's Rams or nothing.
We'll talk about it.
You know what? If I pay to see the Vikings lose again, fine.
It's almost like that one scene from Family Guy. If this is what it takes to get out of Florida, I'm fine with it. Let's get into some NBA here. The Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards. The Celtics are 13.5 point road chalk in this game, total 233. This line opened up at a 234.5 in August. So we're still seeing some August numbers for some of these early ones, but it reopened up at a 233.5, and it's now gone down to a 232. Line opened up at a 13. It's up to a 13.5 now. So we do have a move towards these Celtics, and we have a move towards the over here, or towards the under here as well. 66% of tickets and 80% of the cash is on the over and is on the Celtics in this game. The line moving slightly towards them. 82% of tickets, 76% of the cash is on the over in this game. The line's moving down. And for me in this game, this is one that I think I'm looking to make a move on. And previous history says over for this game because 8 of the last 10 meetings have gone over the total. But the ultimate question here, because I'm looking at the total in this game, I'm looking towards the under. The ultimate question that we have to ask is, will the Celtics make 29 3-pointers again, like they did against the New York Knicks? Do we think they shoot 40? Do you think they shoot 48% from 3-point range? If you think you do, then obviously this game soars over the total again. But I'm going to argue against that. Now I could see the Celtics beating the crap out of the Wizards. I would only lay the points in this game rather than take it, because also this is another interesting spot where I kind of want to jot down these spots, because now we're starting to have teams play their second game. I would like to jot down these spots, teams that have played a game versus teams that have not. I think it favors the team that's played a game. So I would lean towards the Wizards or towards the Celtics, my bad. And I kind of want the under in this game. I think that this is a spot where the Celtics win something on the lines of 120 to 84. Like, I could see this being an absolute blowout type of game where they don't give up anything. So maybe this is Wizards team total under as well. I would like to get involved with unders in this game. I need to figure out how to do that. And I think it would probably be a
team total under for the Wizards and a full game under. So I just want to take a look real quick at that and figure that out.
I will not be betting this game. I will start to keep track of one thing, though. I'm going to take a look at when a team is a 10-point dog or more, how they do against the spread, and how they do money line outright. I'm not betting it. I will end up staying off the side for those games unless I really feel like the dog is live, which I do not feel that way with the Wizards.
No, I don't.
But in my notes, I'm going to keep track because I have Wizards plus 13.5 and plus 650 written down on my notepad, and I'm going to keep track as the lines during the show because I'm not going to go and keep up with it all the way to the thing and get the absolute last number or whatever. But I'm going to stay off this game, but I'm going to keep track to see how good those teams do. So we're going to test that theory out for sure.
I like it. I'm going to move on unders in this game. I think everything correlates for me here in this spot. The Washington Wizards team total under 108.5, minus 115, full game under 232, minus 120.
There you go. I'll head back to the chat. By the way, Nick, I don't know if you use Bovada a lot, but I got $25 in free bets for maintenance. Okay.
Yep, I did too.
Under Wizards spread, it's too early to be taking a double-digit road favorite. I would have to agree, but I'm not doing it.
Could we make the argument that this is the best team in basketball versus the worst team in basketball?
You could.
Which is why it's a 13-point spread. Like, if this was in Boston, we're looking at, 17 and a half in Boston?
Yeah. For sure. I could definitely see that argument. What's up, fellas? Celtics first half and team total. I could see it. Lean Celtics first quarter spread. There is no evidence you support Rams and zero evidence that the Vikings are bad. Lions are arguably the best team in the NFL, and the Vikings lost by a field goal. They lost by 2.
Cool. We'll talk about it.
I feel like the Celtics will not get up for this game. Wizards cover.
I think if the Celtics don't get up for this game, the game finishes 105 to 107. Or like 100, like no, 115, 107, something along those lines is what I meant.
Well, you also got to keep in mind it could be a big look-ahead spot for the Celtics because they got the Pistons up next.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one there.
I'm obviously joking, but I can't touch anything with the sides and that. Morning. Celtics team total over. Raptors lost by 20 at home. Last home, so I can see why the line is this way.
Yeah.
You got to keep in mind, some teams want to lose.
Yeah. And here's the thing as well. Could we come back to the show tomorrow and be like, wow, the Celtics won by 40 points last night, 120 to 180?
For sure.
Like, that wouldn't shock me one bit.
No. Wizards money line, let the big dogs eat.
Good luck.
You know what, Robert? I will never talk you off of big plus money like that. Good luck to you. People betting Rams, apparently.
The answer is no. No, but not. If you look at the betting splits for the Rams real quick, 82% of tickets and 84% cash is on the Vikings. So no, people are not betting the Rams. So let's stop making that argument that people are betting the Rams. They're not.
Actually, I actually like the second quarter spread is minus 3.5. So you're betting on the second quarter.
You're basically betting that the Celtics bench or their B team is better than
than the Wizards one, which I don't argue with that whatsoever. I saw somebody saying the same thing with the Timberwolves second quarter money line, saying that the T-Wolves second unit is better than the Lakers second unit with Bronny James and everyone like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you see an edge, go for it.
Wizards first half, go for it. Have fun. Celtics ain't hitting threes like that outside TD Garden. Under, but not betting. Drew Holiday 2 steals. Can I ask a question?
Go for it. You already did.
Thank you for your question, Lenny. By the way, your Pistons, they suck. The Wizards were always good in the first quarter. May sprinkle the first quarter plus 4.5. I don't hate that. You guys don't even feel for real on the Wizards. No, I don't do it. Some teams want to lose. What does he mean by this? Some teams tank. Some teams are going to tank. So they'll purposely lose for a lottery pick next year.
Remember, though, here's the thing to remember. Teams don't tank. Organizations do.
Yes.
Because if I'm on a bad team, I'm not trying to lose. I still have a job I need to keep.
Yep.
So
for sure.
That's why, teams don't tank. Organizations do.
What's up, Nicholas Andy? Breaking news, the Pistons have already been eliminated from playoff contention. Yes, they have. At least you guys have the Lions. I don't have anything anymore. Let's keep rolling.
Let's keep it going here. The San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are 8-point home favorites here, total of 229.5 in this game. Both these teams making their first. This is their first game each. The reigning Western Conference champion Dallas Mavericks line opened up at an 8, got down to a 7.5, back up to an 8, down to a 7.5, back up to an 8. No, really, just been bouncing back and forth with really no line movement. This line opened up at a 232.5 in October. It was a 230, and then it went down to a 229.5, and that's where it is today, 229.5. So we do have a move towards the over since the way opening line for this one here, or move towards the under, with 21% of tickets and 49% of cash on the under. The line moving towards it. 79% of tickets and 51% of the cash that's the over. Yeah. 74% of tickets, 67% of the cash on the Mavericks. The line not really moving here in this spot. This is dog or pass for me. If I'm looking to make a move on this game, I'm trying to tread a little bit lightly. So I'm not trying to go heavy on the NBA. But if I'm just firing away, if I'm picking picks just to make picks, I'd take a shot with the Spurs plus the points, but not a game I'm getting involved with here personally.
Yeah, I don't feel the need to get involved in this one either. It would be dog or nothing. Do I really need to bet this one just because it's on the card? No. I like the last two games. I think there's a better look at them. Dallas, I mean, it's not really a banner night, but they will have something for their Western Conference championship. So maybe something like that. Maybe if you're going to look towards the Spurs, do it in like the first half kind of deal.
I remember first half for the Spurs last year was pretty good.
It was. I still think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be very strong again this year, so keep that in mind. So, but I'm not going to bet this game.
Yeah, I'm definitely not asking them to win by basically double digits on opening night.
Yeah, no, that's not an option. Mavs cover. You have me, Tim. You always have me. In my heart, Lenny. Always in my heart. I would lean Spurs, but passing. Nick, look at this guy. Sean Higgies. Pop Coach of the Year for the Spurs, 20-1.
I like it. And here's the thing: if basically this is the Spurs to make the playoffs.
I was about to say. I was gonna. Yeah,
this is basically
probably a better version of betting the Spurs to make the playoffs.
Absolutely, it is.
What is the Spurs to make the playoffs? NBA futures. Do we have playoff futures? I have to actually season win, season prop to make playoffs. Scroll down to San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, plus 320 to make the playoffs, and you're getting 20 to 1 on Coach of the Year. I like it. I could see it. In a Western Conference that could be a little bit like bottom weak, because we'll you look at the Western Conference, you gotta go into it thinking Thunder, Nuggets, T-Wolves make playoffs. That Pacific Division's a mess with Sacramento, Phoenix, LA, Golden State, and the Clippers. So I don't really know any. I know maybe one of those teams make the playoffs. And you got Dallas, maybe Memphis with Morant back, and you can put Spurs in there.
Okay. And here's my ultimate question with this as well, and then we can move on. Is if the Spurs make the playoffs, what other teams, if they make the playoffs, will their coach be up for Coach of the Year? Because I mean, you can't give it to the Boston head coach, you can't give it to the Orlando head coach, and you can't give it to the Pacers head coach because they made the playoffs last year.
You can give it to Orlando if they're the number 1 or 2 team in the East.
Okay, that's a fair statement.
Or maybe even 3, because I know you have Boston, and Boston's probably the 1. Then it's kind of up in the air. Maybe the Knicks get the 2. The Bucks are still always in there. I don't know. We'll see. There's a couple of teams, but hey, I like this pop 20 to 1 prop. Spurs plus 8. Wemby over rebounds and assists. I could see it. What about Wemby to get a block? What is Wemby's block prop?
It would probably be over 1.5 blocks because he's somebody who led the league, I believe, last year in blocks, right?
Yes.
I can look for that prop. Give me a minute.
Well, I can get it right here. Hold on. Block shots. Victor Wembanyama. Okay, there's no way. You know what number you have to bet him over block shots?
Probably like 3.5.
4.5 at minus 114. Him to get a block is minus 10,000. Never mind. I don't see the Mavs covering plus 8. I do like Clay under his points. Seeing Clay in a new team is going to be weird. Luka points, sure. Under, I could see an under in that game. Stop it, Higgs. There you go. Wemby, huge year. Playoffs. Pop gets a nice reward. I like it. Who, Markel? Your clown coach? Yeah, no, come on, Markel. Lakers suck. Although the Lakers making the playoffs. Spurs are bottom feeders. I got Golden State to win the Pacific. That's gonna be a shit show. You are morphing into team money. Wow. Sounds like a homer pick. Y'all are crazy. It's 4.5, 5.5. Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, I just looked it up. I realized I was stupid. Leave me alone. Mr. Yankee Judge, long lost brother, told me Markel was in here yesterday. I have to see if he is alive. He was here yesterday. I'm surprised he's not back to brag about his Bucks and his Warriors both winning yesterday. So, yeah, no, I got you. It's hard to find value in the NBA. I disagree. But let's go to the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder here. They're getting their season started in Denver. The Nuggets -2 in this game, total of 227.5. Opening line 2.5, bouncing back and forth between 2 and 2.5, and it's a 2 at the moment. Basically, it's a money line price at this point. Line opened up 225 up to a 226.5. Now it's up to 227.5. So we've had a move towards the over here as well. Kind of want to take a look at what the money line has done in this game because it's such a close spread. Line opened up at a 135. It's down to a 130 for the Nuggets. So we do have a slight move towards these Oklahoma City Thunder. We have 59% of tickets and 61% of cash is on the Nuggets. 83% of tickets and 89% of cash is on the over here as well. And looking at this spot here, with it being opening day, and I want to take a look at something here as well. When it comes to the Nuggets, because I know you followed them for a while now, is like if you want to bet overs or if you want to fade the Nuggets at home, would it be first half only? Because the game slows down in the second half and the Nuggets take over in the second half type of thing, or is this I'm kind of leaning first half over and OKC first half would be the way I would look in this matchup here personally. I just don't know if I'm getting involved with it, but I would only look towards the first halves with OKC in the over here.
I took the Nuggets.
Shocker.
They fit over the last. Well, shut up. Over the last 4 or 5 years, they have been the best home team in the NBA. So Mile High definitely has the best home court advantage in all of basketball, and the city of or the state of Colorado itself is the best for home field advantage in sports, just because of the altitude. So no, I'm not being a biased fan here. Denver's been a very good home team, and when it comes to it, I think they're going to be able to take care of business against, yes, a very good Oklahoma City Thunder team. I still think the Thunder are going to be good again. I was high on them last year. They were the number 1 team in the West. I will be high on them again this year.
The Thunder. Yeah.
I will just not be betting them as much. So for me, I'm on the Nuggets here. I got them at -2.
Kind of think the value is gone on the Thunder, like they were last year. Like they were.
They're not going to be as valuable as last year for sure.
Yeah. I want to look a little bit deeper into this. I kind of want to figure out between OKC first half money line or first half over. I'm not sure yet.
There you go. Nuggets. Yep, Nuggets at home, not to be messed with. Thunder +2 and Chet over points. Good luck. Hammer in the Nugs and fade in the Avs. This ain't the same Nuggets team. Huh? They've got the same core as last year. I don't know what you mean by this is not the same Nuggets team. That doesn't make sense to me. Good luck to all your bets. You too, Ice X. We appreciate you stopping by. You're on the Thunder. Of course, you're a Laker fan. That makes sense. Ice X, who you got in the NHL's dogs tonight? Love some dogs. I need a player prop. Who's throwing a pick tonight?
Sam Darnold.
Honestly, I could see Sam Darnold throwing in, and then they still.
I think you can parlay both of them together to both throw a pick.
Fair. Joker over is Pro. Yes. Took -2 with the Nuggets. I like it. Well-rested Joker is all you need. Correct. I jumped on the Nuggets as well. It's going to be a tight game, though. You even live bet either team's money spread if it's over 3.5.
I can see that. And if you're playing the Nuggets, I think you would play the money line, not the -2, because I can see this being one of those close games at the end.
I could, yeah. Murray disgrace, no. And the only reason why I'll say no is he had a bad year last year because he was dealing with a little bit of injuries. He should be fine this year. He means you got the GOAT Westbrook. No, I'm not really big on that Westbrook signing. I will say that, but it is what it is. 2s is a fair line. Best bet leaning T-Wolves. You have been fading the Vikings all season. Seems like the Dodger fade.
I've only faded the Vikings a few times. I have them under their win total, but I only faded. I faded them. I didn't fade them the first 2 weeks against San Fran and against the Giants. But I have the last few weeks with Houston, Green Bay, the Jets, and the Lions. So I'm 1-3 in Vikings games this year. So do with that as you please.
I took the Vikings today.
Yeah, I moved. By the way, I moved on this Denver game. I took the Oklahoma City Thunder first half +105 and the over 114 first half as well. So Thunder in the Thunder and the over for the first half for me there. That one.
Yep.
Let's move on. A game that I'm kind of interested in as well. I think I'm going to have way too much NBA action today, but it is what it is. Sacramento Kings and the Minnesota Timberwolves. 83% tickets, 88% cash on the spread, but 42% of tickets and 64% of cash on the money line. So depending on what you're betting in this game, really goes to how you'd approach this, because it looks like sharp money on the T-Wolves money line at the pick'em price, but the public's on the -1.5. So do with that as you please. That could maybe mean a 1-point Timberwolves win, but who knows? 84% of tickets, 80% of cash on the over here as well. This line opened up, and I guess this kind of makes sense with the spread. It opened up at a 2, and now we're seeing Minnesota -1. Line opened up at a 226.5. It's all the way down to a 221 in this spot as well. I think this line's moved too much for the under. I'm not betting the over, but I definitely do not want to get in on the ass end of the line in this spot. And I think this is a very similar situation to the first game we talked about. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have played a game this year. Granted, they lost to the Los Angeles Lakers, which the NBA was never allowing LeBron James to lose that game, the first game with his son. So I was kind of stupid to bet the T-Wolves that game.
It was.
Versus the Kings, who have played a game already, or haven't played a game already. So looks like I'm going to be leaving this this NBA card with 5 plays, doubling up on 2, and betting 3 of the 4 games. So much for taking the NBA lightly. Because I'm going to be on the Minnesota Timberwolves here at the -115 price tag in this game. So give me the T-Wolves money line, -115.
I'm going to be on the T-Wolves as well. Once again, and I would have taken the Celtics today too if it wasn't laying a bajillion points. So it's kind of with that deal as well. I would have, but I'm not going to be doing all that. You got the T-Wolves who've come off of playing a game already. You got the Sacramento Kings that have not. I think this could be a Kings kind of a little bit of a down year for them. But I'm going to be staying. I'm going to be taking the T-Wolves as my second NBA play today. I still think the Timberwolves are going to be a good team this year. I don't really think I think they're going to make a nice little run, depending on who they get in the playoffs. But I still think this is going to be a dangerous Timberwolves team.
And yeah, I definitely agree with that. That this could be a Timberwolves team that takes a step up. They took that step up a little bit last year, going from a fringe playoff team to a team that makes the Western Conference Finals. I could very well see that again this year as well.
There you go. We'll go back to the chat. T-Wolves. Yep, T-Wolves. I'll be howling tonight. Under.
A lot of Minnesota. Okay.
T-Wolves. Thanks. Like the T-Wolves money line. Intuition tells me Rotten with the T-Wolves is starting to start similar to the Oilers. Otherwise, I take them here.
Interesting.
Sabres are back. Lindy Ruff effect is starting to take effect. Hashtag playoffs, hashtag cup.
Wait.
No, don't do this.
Stop it. Get some help. Wait, no. No, I got a different one.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I thought that was a better one.
Yeah, you're laughing. You good?
Yes, I did.
Under seems fine. NHL, Dynasty in Buffalo. No.
Stop it.
Wolves. Yep. DeAndre Fox, though, dude's a baller. De'Aaron Fox is a solid player. I really like this Wolves team. Real deal. You beat the Stars. That must have felt like the Cup. No. Utah Coyotes for the Cup. Okay. I'll talk this game with you, and then I got to head out.
Yeah, and I know I'm going to be looking at the betting splits. I know I'm not going to be on a popular side here, which, hey, if you've been on a public side the last 2 weeks, you are doing amazing. So do with that as you please. But yeah, it's just been public side after public side after public side after public side. So probably this means the public side will win. Look ahead line 3, opening line 3.5, down to a 3. So, and the 3 is juiced towards the Rams though, but it is a 3. Look ahead line 45.5, opening line 47. It's up to a 48. Makes me very interested in an over here potentially as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here, where we have 82% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the Vikings, and are making it more appealing to bet the Minnesota Vikings. The books opening up their arms to all the Minnesota Viking money that you would like to bet on them. 63% of the tickets and 60% of the cash on the over in this game as well. And what did we see from the Minnesota Vikings last week? We saw vulnerability finally. They lost that game when they were basically gifted 2 touchdowns on a fumble that was returned all the way to the house, and a block or a fake punt, which set them up on the 30-yard line, and they still lost the game 31-29. They were thoroughly outplayed in that game against the Detroit Lions, which I do believe is the best team in football. And on the flip side, we have the LA Rams. They're finally coming off of a win. They did enough to get out of that game with a win against the Las Vegas Raiders. I took the Raiders in that game. They covered. I actually won both my bets, fading both these teams last week. And one thing we got to look at as well, and this is this is the angle that I'm really playing off of for this game here, and people wondering why I like the Rams so much in this game. Number one, the line's moving towards them with the public on the Vikings. And then let me switch over to the football background. There you go. So, by the way, you guys can fade me in the NFL all you want. I've been terrible this year. But with that being said, I love the Rams in this spot. Why? Well, let's take a look. Remember a couple years ago, this was the 49ers, where every single time you played the 49ers, the following week was a rough week, and you lost. I think there was like a 10 or 11 game losing streak when you played the Niners the previous week. That's the Detroit Lions this year. And not only are teams losing, they're getting their ass whooped the next week. So maybe you take alt lines with the Rams here. The Rams played the Lions week 1. The Lions beat the Rams week 1. Week 2, the Rams lose 41-10 to the Arizona Cardinals. Week 2, the Buccaneers beat the Lions. Following week, the Buccaneers lose 26-7 against the Denver Broncos. Week 3, the Lions beat the Cardinals. Week 4, the Cardinals play the Washington Commanders. They lose 42-14. Week 4, the Seattle Seahawks lost to the Lions. The following week, in Week 5, they lose outright as touchdown favorites against the New York Giants. Week 6, Week 7, we did not get the opportunity to fade the Cowboys because they had a bye week. And that would be the Minnesota Vikings in this spot. So it looks like whatever the Lions are doing, it's taking wear and tear on teams, and they're getting their ass whooped the next week. So I am on the LA Rams at +3, and I think we're starting to see some vulnerabilities. I think we can see some vulnerabilities in this Viking defense as well. Cooper Kupp's expected back today. Most likely not Puka Nacua, but he's eligible to return from the IL this week. I don't think he is, but I think this is like a do or die type of game for the Rams. I get it. They're 2-4 and 1-5 ATS. They're talking about trading players. And I think if they win, they'll be tied with the 49ers, and all of a sudden they can stay in that conversation. You lose, your season's over. So this is a desperate Rams team on a short week. The Vikings have to travel on the short week after playing the Lions, which has been the worst team to play this year, the following week. I think everything correlates for me to take the Rams +3. That being said, probably the Vikings win by 17 because nothing in the NFL makes sense this year. But I'm on the Rams at +3.
I'm taking the Vikings, and if I lose, I lose. If the Vikings lose this game and I lose the bet, fine. And it will show that this team is not really as good as people thought they are. I don't want to say, oh, look at their schedule, but they played the Giants.
They've played a tough schedule. It's not we can't dig at that.
Okay, hold on. They played the Giants.
Okay.
San Fran when they were all beat up.
Okay.
Houston, That's
that was an impressive win.
That's their one good win. Houston. Maybe Green Bay. Green Bay is probably a good win too.
Green Bay, keep put an asterisk next to Green Bay. That was Jordan Love's first game back, and he looked rusty as hell.
A win against the Jets. Jets aren't good, and then they lose to a legitimate Detroit Lions team. So, nothing for this team is saying wow for me yet. But this will be another kind of unique. If you're a legit team, you're winning and covering here. So, I'm on Minnesota. I took them.
Fair.
But that's it for me. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna head to work. But thank you. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
Yep. All right. Let's get back to the chat here. Let's see. Rams spread. Rams +3. Yeah. Let me adjust. There we go. Rams money line. Vikings -3. I made one play so far in the in NFL alt line parlay. Addison over 30 receiving yards. Aaron Jones over 20 receiving yards. There you go. Public money is a scam. You really think the books want to show their cards? I call their bluff. To each their own. But I believe that is false advertisement. Then it's against the law. To books who do show numbers, they have to be factually correct, or unless that's illegal for them to. If they're going to show numbers, they have to be correct, because that'd be false advertisement and that'd be misleading information, which is illegal. So no. Sam Darnold under 21.5 pass completions. I think this would correlate with, you think the Vikings jump out early and run the ball for most of the time. Jordan Addison first touchdown. Good luck. Sam Darnold, USC. Okay. Oh, Addison, yeah. Primetime under. Why haven't y'all been steadily betting the free money trend the last few years? Because it really hasn't been this year. Last week, Thursday Night Football went over the total. What was it? Sunday night went over the total. Monday night went over. Primetime unders went 1-3 last week. Take a look back at week 6. The Thursday Night Football game soared over the total. The Monday night game went over the total. So primetime unders went 1-2 in week 6. In week 5, the Tampa Bay Atlanta game soared over the total. And then the primetime unders went 2-1 during week 5. The last few weeks, it's been terrible. Primetime unders. I don't think I've bet a single one. I do have a primetime under eyed for this week. But that being said, they've not been the same this year. Primetime unders. They just haven't been. So that's why I haven't been betting them, because the games have been going over. And I would lean over the total in this game. Before I'd bet an under, I'd bet the over. And I was kind of looking at the Rams team total over. Lions better than Ravens? Yes. Yes. I would have the Lions as the number 1 team in football right now. Lions versus Ravens would be an epic match. Yes. Rams win. Vikings make the trade for Stafford. That's been rumored all week. I don't know how you trade for Stafford if you're the Minnesota Vikings. I think you ride with Darnold. He's gotten you this far. That defense is what's winning the Vikings games. Definitely Rams money line. Sharps losing again here. They very well could. And it wouldn't be the first time that the public is just completely eating in the NFL, and it's been completely frustrating this year. That sounds nice, Nick, but I think I'll just keep with my +3 with the Rams. Yeah, go Rams. There you go. I'm on the Vikings as well. Both quarterbacks to throw a pick. Yeah, I can see that. Kupp is back. Take over receiving yards. Kupp ain't doing shit. All right. Both on short weeks. Yes, they're both on short weeks. Vikings travel. I think that's a part of it as well. But yeah, this Viking offense just looks too good. Yeah, and now going back to that Darnold, or going back to the Stafford conversation, the Vikings can win with Darnold. They're not winning because of Darnold. He will keep you in games. He will not lose you games, but he, on the flip side, will not win you games either. I think it's the weapons they put around him. The Vikings secondary just got slaughtered. Yeah, I think we're finally starting to show. We're going to finally start to see some cracks in this Vikings defense. That's been a little bit of a luck box with how many turnovers they've gotten. Can you post the hockey card after the show? Yeah, I can. I will be. Morning, gentlemen. What's good? Untouchable. Jordan Aston, 96 receiving yards, plus 902. Good luck. Vikings had a solid schedule as a Packers fan. Yeah, they've played a decent schedule. I mean, they've gotten to some nice situations, but yeah, was solid in the NBA. Only the Rockets were my bet. Yeah. What's up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. Show some appreciation, subscribe, and share. A little NBA, but we can still find value. What's good, Marcos? Higgs was just looking for you there. Untouchable. Blues Clues. Yeah. Justin Jefferson over. Yeah. I wouldn't talk you off of Justin Jefferson props because even when he doesn't catch it, there's pass interference flags, so they'll keep throwing at him. There you go. NBA sucked last night. It did. I went 0-3. It wasn't fun. Caps puck line was easy. They're live for the only hockey game in Ovechkin anytime goal was a nice touch. There you go. Blues money line again for me. I like Payne under as well. I don't know if I can fade the Maple Leafs after that embarrassing loss to the Blue Jackets. The Miami Heat -2 last night was false advertisement, right? 91% of the on the Vikings spread on FanDuel. Yeah. Wherever there's billions of dollars, there's corruption. And that very well could be true. To each their own. But I use markets and stuff like that to lead me to a 40-unit MLB season. So we'll see. Yeah, no, we already finished the NBA and he had to go off to work. 81% of the ticket, 81% of the money on the Vikings on Bet Online. Yeah. Did we already go over hockey? Not yet. We're 47 minutes in. We haven't gone over hockey yet. Aaron Jones under 68.5 rushing yards. I think that plays more into the angle of that the Rams cover and Rams win outright and win by margin. I think would be that type of argument here, and the Vikings are unable to run the ball as much. UHC money line, Utah Hockey Club money line in the over. We'll get into that in a little bit. Appreciate the primetime total stats because I haven't been paying attention to the NFL. Just came back with hockey since sports are most profitable for me. There you go. Actually, I got it under 70.5. Nice. Lean draws for Calgary and Boston. Sharks money line, definitely a sprinkle first period. I think if you're betting the Sharks, it's first period, and I wouldn't be surprised if first period plus a half, I think is worth a shot here as well. And we'll get into that when we get into the hockey card. You're right. I'm not betting Sam's under. Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah. Marcus, you better be in Higgs' show. You know. Well, there you go. NHL. Yes, we will get into a hockey card. I've moved on 3 plays so far. I've doubled up on the first game we'll be talking about here. And this has been one of my, and this makes me sick to my stomach saying this. The Rangers have been my favorite team to bet on so far this season. Because they've been pretty straightforward and they've been very, very easy to bet. We have the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers in this game. The Rangers are -150 favorites, total 5.5 in this game. This stunned me to see this move down to a 5.5. It's still a 6 on Bovada where I got in on it. And I've doubled up on this game. This should come as no surprise. They did it again last game, and I'm back on it again today. The Rangers team total over 3.5, and the full game over 6 for me in this one here. The Rangers are 3-2-1 over under this year, and they've scored at least 4 goals in all 6 games. 6-0 win against the Pittsburgh Penguins, 6-5 loss against the Utah Hockey Club, 4-1 against the Red Wings, 5-2 against the Red Wings, 4-1 against the Maple Leafs, 7-2 against the Canadiens. The team total cashed in the very first period of that game against Les Habitants in the last matchup there. The Florida Panthers are coming in off of a 5-1 loss, so you know they're going to be ready to go right out of the gates here in this one. Previous to that, they beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in overtime. They lost 3-2 to Vancouver in overtime. They beat Columbus 4-3. They beat Boston 4-3. They lost to the Sabres 5-2. Let me get up my spreadsheet for this game here. This was one of the first games that jumped off the page for me. And overs in Ranger games, I think, are going to be a thing, even with Shesterkin in net, because of this Rangers offense. This Rangers offense has a league-leading 5.11 expected goals for per game over the first 6 games for them here. And every single game, they've put up at least 3.5 expected goals. Their defense, they've given up at least 3 expected goals in 4 of their 6 games. So I still think there's an opportunity for the Panthers to get theirs as well. And I have the Rangers projected for 4.09 goals, and I got plus 115 for the team total over 3.5. I'm going to keep riding the Rangers team total over 3.5 until proven wrong. And I'm on the full game over 6 as well. I got it minus 108. I think this Rangers team offensively is bet on until further notice, which if you're looking for props, I mean, Alexei Lafreniere, I mentioned him last game. I also mentioned Riley Smith, who scored a goal last game in the first period. He's on the line with Zibanejad and Kreider, so probably some value there. I mean, even that third line with Will Cooley, Philip Hedl, and Capo Caco has been contributing as well. I don't mind props there. For the Florida Panthers, this is a Panthers team that I still think is going to be pretty good this year. And, I mean, they could very well be live. Matthew Tkachuk is back in the lineup. Up on the top line is Eetu Luostarinen. So maybe there's some value with Luostarinen props on the top line with Reinhart and Lundell. Still with Barkov out, but Tkachuk is back. He's on the second line with Bennett and Verhaeghe. So I think if I'm looking at Florida Panther props, it starts and ends with Luostarinen on the top line there. But I'm on the New York Rangers team total over 3.5, plus 115, the full game over 6, minus 108. Let's see. We get a decent amount. There we go. Ranger puck line. I won't talk anybody off of Rangers puck lines. I just won't. Rangers, the only way I can look. Agreed. Rangers over 3.5. Yes. Panthers money line. Pass. I'm waiting for an over 6. Fair. Florida money line. Panthers show up for these games. I think this is more of a Rangers show up for this game because this is also the Eastern Conference Finals rematch from last year where the Florida Panthers took out the Rangers in 6 games. So that's something to keep in mind as well, is that this Rangers team has a little bit of revenge on their mind against them there. Over 5.5. Yes, I would definitely take the over 5.5 at this point. Kentucky. Yeah. Rangers are absolutely killing it. I can see Rangers team total over 5.5. Rangers puck line. Yes. That was some nice information you had about the Rangers. Scored a nice same game parlay. Rangers money line, team total over and over in the Montreal game. Beautiful. Love to see that. Rangers over 3.5 and plus 26. Love it. I don't know if I can bet an over in a playoff style game. Yeah, I understand that, but on the flip side, I mean, we've seen plenty of high scoring games between these two teams, and I can see it again here. So now, granted, we saw a lot of lower scoring games with them in the playoffs last year, but during the regular season, I'd also look maybe first period over. You have the Panthers off of a bad loss last game; they lost 5-1, and maybe they were looking ahead to this game. I mean, who knows? But, yeah, Antoine Lundell has been feasting in the Barkov role. Yeah, Lundell props. I won't talk you off of this one there. This is Bailey. I think it's too early for these teams to be playing in playoff type game. That's fair. This line is wide, minus 150. I don't think so at all. The Panthers have shown vulnerabilities to me. Their advanced numbers are not what they were last year. And the Rangers look like the best team in hockey. If anything, I think this line's short. And I'd play the Rangers -1 before I'd play the Panthers, personally. And if you're playing the Panthers, I'd maybe take them first period. I've been looking for Higgs too. Does he have a show? Still, I don't see it. Yes, sir. Yes, I believe it's same time as usual, noon, if I remember right. Robert, those Rangers are them. Yeah. Maurice is going to treat this like a playoff game. He's not happy with their play. And that could very well be the case. But is that good enough to stop this Rangers team that's averaging over 5 expected goals for? I've been riding the Rangers team total over. I'm not going to stop now. I can't believe I wasn't on the Rangers on any of those Detroit games. But I've been backing the Rangers an awful lot this year. And I'm not stopping now. So, Sam Bennett, anytime goal. Bruins not beating them twice tells me all I need to know. They beat the Bruins twice. Oh, Bruins not beating them twice. I think the Panthers are still a much better team than the Bruins, if that's what you're getting at there. We'll move on, though. We have the Minnesota Wild taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. I moved on the Wild last game, and that was a very nice plus 130 wire-to-wire blowout winner there against these Florida Panthers that we just talked about last game. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning, who did not like their game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, where they lost 5-2. They bounced back with an 8-5 win over the New Jersey Devils. On the flip side, this Minnesota Wild team has been awesome this year. They've yet to trail in any of their games. They're 4-0-2. Gustafsson looks like a Vezina Trophy candidate right now. If not, I would have Gustafsson maybe second behind Ottinger right now for Vezina. He's been phenomenal. And I'm assuming he gets to start here with a day's rest. This will be the third game in 4 days for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So maybe this could be a little bit of a spot there. But with the way the two goalies are playing now, I get it. And we just saw back-to-back games the Lightning have given up 5 goals. But on the flip side, I mean, this Minnesota team's playing a very strong defensive game under John Hines. They've given up 2.6 expected goals for in their on average in their first 6 games. So they've been playing much better defensively. At a 6.5 with these goaltenders, I can only look under the total. I have this game projected for 6.24, and that's not implemented. And that's 6.24 goals. And that's putting the assumption that these are average goaltenders, which they're not. I think Vasilevsky can step up in this game, and Gustafsson I think can continue playing really, really well. So I would only look towards the under in this game if I'm playing it personally. The Wild have been a good under team, but unders in Lightning games scare the crap out of me right now because they've put up 4 goals in all but one game, and that was the 5-2 loss against the Maple Leafs. Other than that, 4-1 win against Carolina, 4-1 against Vancouver, 4-3 against Vegas, 5-4 loss against Ottawa, an 8-5 win against New Jersey. I think this is going to be the toughest test so far for Philip Gustafsson and this Minnesota Wild defense. So I want to see how the Wild step up in this competition. At 6.5, I would only look towards the under, though. So it's just a small lean towards the under 6.5. On a side perspective, I think there might be a little bit of value here if Minnesota is a dog, the way Gustafsson has played so far. But I would only look towards that. Maybe a draw in this game as well, but I would lean Minnesota and the under for me. There you go. Tampa and Reg. My guy Markel. There you go. Bruins hate the Panthers for eliminating them twice and still couldn't get revenge is what I mean. Oh, well, here's the pretty simple case for me is the pretty simple case for that is the Rangers are significantly better than the Bruins. I don't think it's particularly close right now. I got over 6.5 at plus 130. Wow. Tampa and Reg. Wild score goals and Tampa scores goals. Wild has an easy schedule.
They've played the defending Stanley Cup champions. Columbus, not the greatest of games. St. Louis is a tough team at home. Winnipeg's undefeated. The Kraken, I think, could be a playoff team in Columbus. Yeah, they've played Columbus twice, which I think really softens their schedule. But, I mean, they've not played cupcakes. But, I mean, it's not the killers of the NHL. I think Fleury's playing. Okay, never mind. I have no interest in that. I would have no interest in the Wild without Gustafsson. Wild have been scoring goals. Yeah, I think Flowers in net. Kaprizov assist. It's unconfirmed who's in net, but likely Gustafsson. If it's Gustafsson, I have more interest in the Wild than I do Fleury. And that's pretty plain and simple. Fleury's way past his prime, and I'm surprised he's still playing. I'm parlaying the Tampa first line all to get a point. That's not a bad look. And maybe throw Hedman in there too. Same with Boldy in the Ek line. That's not a bad look. Wild money line. Got to take a shot with the Wild. Let's go Wild. I hope Fleury is a net for my Tampa play. Yeah, I would hope so too. If you're betting Tampa Bay, you're absolutely hoping for Fleury in between the pipes. Absolutely for that. We will continue on here with a game that I have bets here. Trade terms. The Vikings the Titans get a 2025. Okay. That was the DeAndre Hopkins trade. All right. I was just checking my Twitter notifications there. Looks like Casey DeSmith in net tonight. Joseph Woll will be starting as well. Let's see. There we go. All right. The game I have moved on, and it's not moved in my direction. Nothing's moving in my direction today, but I can care less. Let's get into it here. The Detroit Red Wings and the New Jersey Devils, minus 145 for the Devils, total 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the matchup for these two teams, where we have the Red Wings entering 3-3 straight up and ATS. But, I mean, I don't care about ATS. 3-3 over-under as well. The Devils have been more of an under team. 3-5-1 to the under. They're 5-3-1 overall this year. So they're off to a decent start. They've played back-to-back overs. 6-5 loss against Washington and 8-5 loss against Tampa Bay. So you'd think maybe they want to step up defensively, but good luck. I want to challenge them to do that. After playing some really solid defense, they're finally showing some cracks. But Washington and Tampa Bay have been decent offensively this year. On the flip side, we have the Detroit Red Wings, who won their last game with 11 shots on goal. They won 1-0 against the Islanders in a game that they were thoroughly dominated. 31-11 shots on goal in favor of the Islanders. I believe it was 2.66 to 0.8 expected, 0.83 expected goals. I look for this Detroit offense to step it up in this game, as well as the defense to regress, because that was, I think, a major outlier performance for the Detroit defense. Because so far this year, including the 2.66 expected goal numbers there again in the last game, they're giving up 3.83. They've given up at least 3.5 expected goals in 4 of their 6 games. I have this game projected for 7.05 goals. I'm on the over 6.5 in this game. That's the way I've moved on this one here. And for me, this is Tampa Bay, or this is New Jersey's finally showing some cracks defensively, and they're starting to play like what I believe they would be heading into the season, with more of an over team. And the Detroit Red Wings have been a decent over team the last few games, other than the 1-0 game against the Islanders, which easily could have been way higher scoring than it was. But for me, I look for everybody to overreact potentially on that 1-0 game that the Red Wings played last game, and not realize that game probably should have been a little bit higher scoring. And then the Devils been playing a little bit more under this year. I think that changes, though. My numbers suggest that changes as well. I think defensively that the Devils are overachieving so far. So I'm on the over 6.5 here. I got it at minus 120. You can get a better number on it now. Cooch is unstoppable. Yeah. Devils money line minus 150. I would play the minus 1 line or a team total over instead of laying that much juice. Woll is in net. Is that confirmed? Yes. Woll is confirmed in net for Tampa Bay, or for Toronto. Markstrom is overrated. Who's in net for the Red Wings? I would imagine after last game, Alex Lyon. That'd be my guess.
over 6.5. Markstrom is going to be better than whoever the Wings put in. That's correct. This game does have like a track meet. Raymond anytime goal. I can see that. Kane anytime goal. He got the only goal in the game against the Islanders. I'm high on Lyon. Yeah, but I'm not that freaking high on Lyon. Over 6.5 minus 115. Hughes anytime goal. There you go. We'll keep on going here. We have 6 more games on the NHL card where we have the Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues. Minus 220 for the Maple Leafs, total of 6 in this game. This game has a very similar feel to the beginning of the season when the Bruins lost that first game against the Panthers, and then they bounced back against a bad Montreal Canadiens team. I see something very similar here potentially with the Leafs. Now, the Maple Leafs are 4-3 so far this year, and they had a poor performance against the Columbus Blue Jackets. They lose 6-2, which followed a home win against the Tampa Bay Lightning in the previous game. And we've seen the Leafs do this over and over and over again. They'll beat a really quality competition, and then they'll lay a freaking egg. And they laid an egg in that last game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. On the flip side, we do have the Blues, who had their 2-game winning streak against New York and Carolina, snapped with a 3-2 loss against the Winnipeg Jets in their last game. And for me in this one, I can only look Maple Leafs, but do I want to lay minus 250 in a midweek game with the Toronto Maple Leafs at home? Maybe this is the situation to do so. Maybe it is. But looking at my projections for this game here, I do have this game projected for 6 goals. So under 6, or it is a 6. So I guess I have that number correct. I would be interested in an under at a 6.5 if I was looking at that. Maybe Berube gets the Maple Leafs back to playing more of that defensive style hockey game that we've seen them play so far this season. And the Blues offense is nothing to write home about. They've gone under 3 expected goals in all but 4 of their 7 games. They're averaging 2.80 expected goals per game. They're giving up 2.9. So this has been a more defensively responsible Blues team. And I would probably lean towards an under 6 in this game if I had to bet anything. I would have preferred a 6.5, and I believe the 6.5 is minus 135. So this is definitely not something that I'm going to be getting involved with. Minus 130 for the under 6.5. I kind of lean in that direction if I can get the 6.5, but I'm not able to get the 6.5. So it's ended up going to be a pass for me. But it wouldn't surprise me to see the Leafs step up and play a strong defensive game and be able to shut down the Blues offense, which that means Blues team total under, which is 2.5 and minus 120. Maybe that's what it means, but I still have the Blues projected for 2.96 goals. So not what I'm getting involved with here. Should the Leafs be laying this type of number? My numbers say no, but situationally, I can only look towards the Leafs. So it's a pass here on not a game I'm overly thrilled about. Let's see. Lyon and Talbot are good goalies, definitely better than Markstrom. Fair. Leafs puck line. Cam Talbot is confirmed for the Red Wings. Love that for my over. I prefer him over Lyon for my over. Blues money line / regulation. There you go. Good luck. Leafs puck line. Wool in net changes everything. Kyrou hates Berube, and Leafs need to show up for coach. But Wool, give me the over. Fair. Kyrou anytime goal. Can only look Blues if Benny's confirmed with that kind of juice. Pass. Yeah, the numbers suggest you take the dog or you pass. Is kind of the way it looks. Blues versus Berube, old coach thing. That's why I took the Blues. Fair. Markstrom sucked in Vancouver and sucked in Calgary. He is just another Freddie Anderson. Zero idea why people like him. And that's totally fair. He's been good so far this year, but I'm not one of those guys that are lining up to say, yes, I want to back Jacob Markstrom. So I can definitely understand your argument there. Leafs have been overrated forever. Yes, the Leafs are a great team. They absolutely can be. And it's a tricky spot. I want to back the Leafs situationally after their shit performance against the Columbus Blue Jackets. But do I want to lay minus what? Or +1, or take a +107 puck line? I don't know. We'll see. Let's go Blues. Buchnevich, anytime goal, and Neighbors. Yeah, but I can only look Leafs in this game, but the line's just way, way too wide. Let's move on. The Dallas Stars and the Boston Bruins. The Stars, $1.20 road favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. And we have the Stars off of a loss in their last game here, where they went to Buffalo and they struggled. On the road is where the Stars have struggled this year. They're 1-2 away from American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas. There are only 2 games that they played on the road. They've lost both of them, the Washington Capitals and the Buffalo Sabres. On the flip side, the Boston Bruins, they're coming in off of a 3-game road trip where they went to Colorado, Utah, and Nashville. They finished off that road trip with a 4-0 loss against Nashville, handing Nashville their first win of the season. And this line being super close really puzzles me. And the ultimate question is, who is this more of a bounce-back performance for? Is this more, do you lean more towards the sentiment that the Dallas Stars bounce back after that loss against the Buffalo Sabres, or to the Boston Bruins bounce back after the loss to the Nashville Predators? And I think looking at it, it's pretty simple to me. I trust Dallas more than I trust Boston. I do. And the Dallas Stars in this game are where are they? Minus 120 in this game. I'm more interested in that than I am the Bruins in this game. The Bruins offensively have been bad this year. They're averaging 2.48 expected goals per game. If Pastrnak is not scoring, I have no idea where the hell this offense is coming from for the Boston Bruins. Now, the Dallas Stars gave up 4 goals to the Buffalo Sabres last game, one of them being an empty net goal. Is this a game where Jake Oettinger plays well and we get a team total under for the Boston Bruins? You can get under 2.5 at plus 120 for the Boston Bruins here. However, the Boston Bruins were just shut out in their last game. And the Stars are off of a loss. And I'm looking for unders in Dallas Star games when they're at home. On the road, I think they're more of an over team. They played a 4-3 game against the Nashville Predators. They lost 2-3 or 3-2 against the Capitals, and then they pushed the 6, which would have gone over this 5.5 number against the Buffalo Sabres. On the flip side, this Boston Bruins team, my ultimate question mark is where the hell the offense is coming from. And it looks like just the offense dries when they hit the road. Because they scored 4 against Florida in the opening game. That was on the road. But then they put up 6 against Montreal, only 2 against the Kings, 3 against the Panthers, 5 against the Avalanche, and then their previous games 1-0. Is this a buy low spot on the Boston offense? Maybe. Maybe it is. My numbers suggest that there's value on the over, but that's considering that those numbers are considering that these two teams have average goaltenders, which they don't. Swayman, I'm less high on. Oettinger, I'm high on. And I see this more of a bounce back game for the Dallas Stars than I do for the Boston Bruins. So the play is probably the Dallas Stars in this game. And I just got to figure out whether or not I'm going to pull the trigger on the Dallas Stars here. Which I'll figure that out after the show. I'm going to write that down. Whether or not I want to back this Stars team after their loss against the Buffalo Sabres. And fade this Boston Bruins team, which I'm not very high on at all this year. So we'll see. Let's get back to the chat. Ice X on the Bruins. Color me shocked. Bruins in the under. Also sprinkled draw. Bruins look ahead to the Leafs on Saturday. Stars money line. The Bruins money line. Stars play down to their competition. Yes. Bruins smash. Can't believe Casey DeSmith is favorite. That's right. Casey DeSmith starting this game, not Swayman. Which, okay, that leans me more towards the total in this game. And I need to start looking at these goaltenders here, which it's unconfirmed for Jake Oettinger.
If it is Casey the Smith, yeah, there it is. Confirmed Casey Smith, which the Smith has been okay this year. I'll move on the over 5.5 then. I think the Stars offense steps up here, and we have the Bruins off of a shutout loss, which teams off of a shutout loss, I'll generally look towards overs as well. So yeah, okay. That settles it for me here. I'm not going to move on the Stars. I'm going to move on the over. Over 5.5 minus 122 for me. That's the way I'm going to do it. This line seems messed up, which makes me want to pass. Fair. Bruins are still a great team. They just aren't having one of their fairy tale starts as usual. Fair. Which goalie is starting for the Leafs tonight? Wool. It's Wool. I like the full under. Wow. Apparently, Wool is starting. He is born in St. Louis, so maybe that's why Berube trusts him to play his former team as his first game of the year. Wool played last game, though. Played against Columbus. Didn't look good. Stars should be minus 160, which makes me think the Bruins are going to play with an edge tonight. Fair. Marchand assists. The shit in Korpisalo would be an over. It's definitely the starters. Definite under. Yeah, it's not. It's under is not playing tonight. Marchand, a point worth a look. There you go. Bruins team total over must be plus or even money. At 3.5, it will be. At 2.5, it's not. I agree, untouchable. Over 5.5. Yes, I end up grabbing the over 5.5. Let's continue on. Colorado Avalanche and the Utah Coyotes, the Utah Hockey Club, minus 130 for the Avs, total of 6.5 in this game. And now, finally, the Avalanche are starting to look like the team that we kind of expected from them heading into the season, which is winning one. Now, granted, they've only covered one puck line, and they're minus 260 favorites against the Sharks in that game. They've been favorites in every matchup so far this year, and they're favorites again in this one. They're at the Delta Center for against the Utah Hockey Club. Utah is coming in off of a shutout loss, 4-0 against the Ottawa Senators. So you think maybe this is a bounce back spot for Utah. 4 of their 7 games have gone past regulation so far this year, so maybe a draw is worth a look in this game as well. So there's a couple things to look at there. Colorado, 3 straight wins after starting off the year 0-4. Granted, they're against Anaheim, San Jose, and Seattle. Do with that as you please. This is probably the best team that the Avalanche have played since the start of their winning streak. My numbers have this game projected for the Avalanche to be a favorite in this game, but a minus 130 favorite. I have them more along the lines of minus 120. The 6.5 number I think is correct because I have this game projected for 6.63 goals. I think the Avalanche are more of a bet on team than a bet against. At minus 155, though, I really don't have too much of an interest in that in a play on the Avalanche because that would have to be a -1, and I don't think there's enough of an edge to play a -1 line here with the Colorado Avalanche at the moment. Maybe this is a first period over. First period over 1.5 is minus 145, so not anything I would be playing there. But I could see this game being a little bit higher scoring right off the rip with the Utah coming in off the shutout loss. Maybe it's a Utah first period in this game if you think they come out and they play well. But at this number, at this line, it's a no play for me with a small lean towards the over. I think would be the only play I would make in this one here. 2 fun teams. Maybe a small shot on the draw is worth a look, but not a game I'm getting involved with here, personally. Let's see. Creed, yeah. Over 5.5. Walden. Oh, yes, it was Hilderby. Yep. My bad. I think they switched it late. I apologize on that one. I thought I saw a notification that he did play it, and I didn't bet the game, so I didn't really look too much into it once the goalies were announced. You typed it right. Yes, go Yotes. There you go. Utah got this. Arizona, good record versus the Avs. That's fair.
Over 6.5, not in the 2021 playoffs. Fair. Over seems legit. Alt line over 7.5. I mean, if you're going for it, go for it. Yeah. There are so many spots I'll still take for the old Coyotes in this one. Yeah, at this number, I can only look towards the Yotes. I can only look towards the Yotes in this one. Avs give me nightmares. Avs minus 152 on Bet Online. Yeah, I think the lines move too much now at this point. Maybe a draw here too. Yeah, Logan Cooley. Utah over 2.5 goals is minus 145. Yeah, I don't hate it. Yotes easy if Ingram, Vamelka, and Georgiev then over. Fair. Play Coyotes graphic. Let's see. Do I have it? I absolutely do have it. Right here. There you go. Coyotes. I love that you all are so yeah, they're still the Yotes until they come up with. See, now if they started this inaugural season off as the Utah Yeti, I'd call them the Yeti. If they started the year off as the Utah Venom, then I would call them the Venom. They're the Utah Hockey Club. They're the Coyotes till they pick a real name for me. They are the Coyotes until they pick a real name. Love this chat. There you go. So the Leafs were looking ahead for Blues, LOL. Maybe they do it again for the Bruins on Saturday. I don't trust. I don't think it's a look-ahead spot once you just got your ass kicked. Ingram isn't starting today, so you all know. Fair. Why I like the over here, not the money line. That's a fair look because we know that the Avalanche are going to get theirs offensively. The Avalanche offensively their offense has not been the problem. The Avalanche, it's been their defense this year. So 3 games remaining on this card. We have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Calgary Flames. What a fun team this Calgary Flames team has been so far this season. Let's take a look at the line, or not the line history. Notice we haven't been looking at markets with the NHL. I do not care about the markets in the NHL because the markets are not sharp in the NHL. So I can care less what they do. Calgary Flames are 5-0-1 to start the year. What a freaking start for these Calgary Flames. On the other side, Carolina 3-2 to start the year. They've been pretty decent as well. They came back down 2-0 to win 3-2 in overtime against the Edmonton Oilers. They've now won 3 of their last 4 games. The only game they lost was the second half of a back-to-back against the St. Louis Blues. They lost the game 4-3, but they massively outshot and outchanced the St. Louis Blues in that game. Taking a look at my projections for this one here is I think this is an over. And I get it. Both these teams defensively have been better as of late, but I like the way these teams are playing offensively. And I have this game projected for 7 goals. This one, you're giving me a 6. If this was a 6.5, maybe you pump the brakes on it. But that being said, I mean, you get that. And then the Flames team total over is whoa, I'm going to have to play that. Flames team total over is a 2.5 at minus 120. Yeah, I'm going to double up on this game here with the team total over, full game over with the Flames in this spot. And for me, Calgary's been awesome this year. They've put up at least 3.5 expected goals in 4 of their 6 games. They're averaging 3.506 expected goals per game. They're only giving up 2.69. Carolina's been a little bit, when you look at their advanced analytics, a little bit of an offensive juggernaut this year, averaging 4.29 expected goals per game, only giving up 3. They are giving up 3.5 as well. So they are defensively not looking like the Carolina teams we've come accustomed to the last few seasons, where they're more of a defensive first type of team. And I think the Carolina, I'm more interested. Now, granted, they've played 3 road games and they're 2-1 to the under so far this year in road games. But I'm more interested in unders for home games with Carolina rather than road games. And Carolina, let's take a look because this is their 4th game on a West Coast road trip. They still got 2 more to go. They play Seattle and Vancouver before they head home for a Halloween game against the Boston Bruins. That should be a fun one there. And this Calgary Flames team, they've been such a fun team so far this year. Their only loss was an overtime loss against Seattle. Other than that, they've scored at least 3 goals in every single game so far this year.
So I'm on the Calgary Flames team total over 2.5 and -120 in the full game over 6. I think these lines are wrong. It should be 3.5 juice towards the under for Calgary. I don't think the 2.5 should be available, or the 2.5 should have been -160 range or -170 range. So I see a lot of value there with the team total over. So we're going to go Calgary team total over 2.5, -120 full game over 6 at -120 as well. Let's see. What's good, Nathan Cerna? But Malcolm Masterclass, I'll sprinkle the Yotes puck line just for kicks. There you go. I see Ingram expected. Nothing confirmed on mine. Fair. -1.5. Yeah. Flame on. Yeah. They've been fun this year. Draw lean under. I could see a draw in this game. Leafs need to prove that they're going to that they are a game-to-game team because the World Cup, there are going to be a lot of back-to-back games this year. The schedule is not good for injuries and player prop futures. Yeah, fair. Flames. I love fall sports. Yeah, I love baseball, though. Baseball is my number one love. It always has been, and it always will be in baseball. But hockey's a very close second now. Kane's puck line. Aho assist. Flames over 2.5 in full game over. I love that. Yeah, the Flames might be real this year, and a lot of people were very low on them because they thought that they were going to be a team that sells, and a lot of players wanted trades and everything like that. Well, guess what? All the players that wanted trades, they're gone, and now the players playing on this Flames team are players that actually want to be there. So that's why this Flames team has been way better this year so far. So, yeah. Carolina looked like they clicked last game. Still playing under games. Oilers only getting 2 goals says a lot. And that's fair. But I'm going to go with their advanced analytics here that suggests that they should give up a little bit more. And I can see this game being 3-3 at some time. Jackson Blake anytime goal. Yeah. We better see some cool graphics in the background for the Halloween show. I could probably do that. Yeah. Nature's plus 200 anytime goal. I've been having MLB withdrawals. Only one more day. Yeah. I need to look at that World Series game. One is Flaherty versus Cole, which should be an interesting one there. We'll see. I'm passing on the full game over, but the Flames over 2.5 looks great. Yeah. Kane's team total over 3.5. I can see that as well. Top MLB pick, Dodger blue, money line tomorrow. Yeah. And the tricky part is that the Yankees do have the starting and pitching advantage tomorrow. We'll see, though. Baseball, yeah. I'll remind you closer to Halloween. Appreciate that. Holy crap, Halloween's a week away. Wow. Halloween's a week away. Huberto found his groove. The weird part is Coleman was their top scorer last year. Now he's invisible. Yeah. Yanks money line for tomorrow. We will get into that. I want to bet the Dodgers to win the World Series, but I'm not sure yet. Let's move on. The Winnipeg Jets and the Seattle Kraken in this one here. Jets -125, -130 favorites. Perfect 6-0 to start the year. Winnipeg's been very impressive. They beat Edmonton 6-0, but then they played Chicago, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis. So probably their toughest game since the Edmonton game was Minnesota. So how much can we really play into this? Is Seattle a team? I mean, I think Seattle is probably in Minnesota's level. So this is going to be one of the tougher matchups for the Winnipeg Jets so far this year. On the flip side, Seattle is coming in off of a 3-2 loss against Colorado that snapped their 3-game winning streak against Nashville, Philadelphia, and Calgary. The only team to hand Calgary a loss so far this season is these Seattle Kraken. And for me in this game, I have this game priced closer towards the pick'em in this game, and I have this game priced I had this game projected for a 6. Now, do I want to go ahead and pull the trigger on the 5.5? No. Because one thing I got to keep in mind as well, and until I get enough of a sample size, this is something I also have to keep in mind, is that my projections are probably going to be a little bit on the high side for some teams with elite goaltenders. And Hellebuck is 100% an elite goaltender. So maybe if I implemented goalie numbers here, that I would have the Jets projected as a bigger favorite than they are now. But I would lean towards the Kraken in this game. I don't think it's enough risk reward, though, for the Kraken at plus 107 range for me to go ahead and pull the trigger on them. But I think this could be a spot dog or pass for me. But Winnipeg is for sure not a team I'm looking to jump in front of right now. And maybe once they lose a game, then they could be fade worthy. With that bubble burst game, you lose your first one, then you can drop the second one. But for me, it's a lean towards the Kraken, but not a game I'm getting involved with. Let's see. Pitt Panthers tomorrow. I moved on the over. I got over 62. Syracuse and Pitt. I lean towards the Pitt Panthers on the spread in that game. Maybe a Pitt team total over. But I'm on the over. So many batter props this series. Yeah. Jets money line under 5.5. I lean towards the over. Kraken to finally give the Jets the L. I'll take Pitt Panthers tomorrow. Release the Kraken. Give me a second. I got you.
Release the Kraken.
You go. Jets puck line. I'll just take the Jets every time I choose a total. The Jets game goes the opposite. That's fair. Jets kind of due for a loss. Maybe under if Decor. Maybe. Jets 6-0 winning streak. Yeah. Finally, a Jets team can actually win games. Maybe the New York Jets can learn something from that. If you release the Kraken first period only, I could see that. Pass. Syracuse versus Pitt is tonight. Yes, it is. I got the over 62 for that one there. We've made it to our final game of the card. The San Jose Sharks and the LA Kings is your matchup here. The Kings are minus 300, minus 305 favorites in this game. Total of 6 in this spot. Minus 300 faves have not had a fun time this year. That's one thing we've known for sure. I think they're 2-2 so far this season. But we're looking, and this is a terrible, terrible spot here for the LA Kings. They are making their home. This is their first home game of the year. This is their opening night in LA at Crypto.com Arena. They started off the season with a miserable 8-game road trip. Buffalo, Boston, Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, Anaheim, Vegas. Now they're finally at home. On the flip side, the San Jose Sharks, they're 0-5-2 to start the year. They've lost 2 in overtime. They opened up their season with a loss at home in overtime, 5-4 against the St. Louis Blues. And since then, they've just not looked good. They lost Celebrini, and their offense has looked lost. I need to know a status for Celebrini. I do. Because this San Jose team is borderline unbackable with Celebrini out. And which sucks because I wanted the Sharks first period in this game. When is Celebrini expected back? He remains week to week. Ouch. They need Celebrini back, and they need Celebrini back yesterday. That sucks. This is pretty plain and simple for me, though. There's no way in hell I'm laying any type of number like this with the LA Kings. That being said, plus 175 for the first period money line with the San Jose Sharks would be the only spot I can look at in this game. Maybe take a look at the Sharks team total over, which is 2.5 at plus money. But that being said, this offense has looked lost without Celebrini. 1-1, they put up 3 against Winnipeg. 2-2-0 without Celebrini. Offensively, they've looked lost. And the ultimate question mark is, can they give me a goal in the first period? Which, if you like them first period, wow. First period money line plus 175, or for them to score a goal in the first period minus 125. And I can see this being a flat spot for the LA Kings. Defensively, the Kings have not looked great. They had 2 games where they gave up 1 goal against Anaheim and Montreal, 1 goal against Buffalo. But, I mean, you look at the last 5 games, 8 against Ottawa, 6 against Toronto, 6 against the Vegas Golden Knights.
That first period team total over looks really appealing with the Sharks, and maybe a first period money line for the Sharks as well. But damn, do I really want to double up here on the Sharks first period? I think it's either or. I think it's you take a shot with the plus 175 on the first period money line, or you take the team total over half and just ask them to score a goal in the first period. The question is, does the Kings score in the first period? Is the ultimate question, because I mean, offensively, do we trust the Kings? They've looked pretty decent this year. Every game being on the road, their offensive numbers after the first 2 games of the year against Buffalo and Boston, their expected goal numbers, they've put up at least 3 and 5 in a row. And just the defensive numbers for San Jose has sucked. So I want to back San Jose in this game. And I think the best way to do it is not asking them to stop a puck, just score a goal in the first period at minus 125. And that's how I'm going to move on this game. I don't really bet first period team totals often, but I don't want the full game team total over. I want this to be a little bit of a bad spot here for the Kings here coming back from the long road trip. So I think this is probably the best bet here in this game. Sharks first period team total over a half, minus 125. That's what I'm going to settle on for this game. First period team total over a half, minus 125 to end the night here in this one. Let's take a look. Over 6. Sharks spots. The Sharks get their first win tonight. Sharkies plus 1.5. Over 5.5. Minus 300 fade. Let's do it. Let's do this, Nick. Crazy money lines with the dirt trash Sharks. Yeah, I don't do it as much in the NHL. I will do it every time in the MLB. But I'm less gun ho to do it in hockey. I don't know why, but yeah. Kings are going to be way too relaxed after spending time with friends and fam at home. Yeah, I can see that. Sharks are so weird, but they do get up for the Kings more than the Ducks. That's fair. Eklund point. One thing that scares me: who is dumb enough to play the Kings? Eklund is elite. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants the Kings at this price, but I mean, is this a game where? Is this a game where the Sharks or where the Kings maybe take care of business in this game? If you like the Kings, it'd be Kings team total over. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. The Sharks defensively have sucked, taking the draw, suppness. They got steamrolled by VGK. So yeah, but I don't like the spot with them first game back after a long road trip. Check your messenger. I will after the show. No use searching for value in this one. That's fair. Sharks, the value is Sharks money line plus 240. Yeah, I would definitely take the Sharks before I lay any type of number with the Kings. Maybe plug your nose here. Rittich is not a joke. San Jose might not get 3 pucks. Fair. But that is it for today's card. Let's see. NBA bettors will probably just add Kings money line to their parlays. Yeah, I can see that. See ya. Good luck with all your picks. You too as well. I'll be posting all the stuff after the show here. But that is going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching. Let's find the outro video. And I'll catch you guys same time, same place. Another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.